Dear students and my teacher friends, Namaskar. I welcome you to the presentation lecture on larynx. Now, before I start this presentation lecture, I would like to tell you a few things. See, in your syllabus, respiratory system, the study of respiratory system is there. So, as the part of the respiratory system, we are studying this larynx topic, okay? But um in your syllabus, this topic is not there. So you should not prepare this thing, sound production. It is not there. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you that in this lecture, uh, this lecture. It is not difficult one, but the only thing you need to do is that the figures will come and the theory points will come. So all the figures are very important. So uh, I request you to observe all the figures very closely and very carefully, okay? And it is not that once I deliver the lecture and this topic will be ready with you, but once this lecture I complete this lecture, then you need to once again go through this lecture, and time to time you will require to pause the lecture so you can uh, see all the figures clearly, and you can read the all the theory point, and then only you will be able to prepare this lecture. Now here on the screen, as you can see, one patient is shown, and the doctor has inserted the laryngoscope, and doctor is viewing the patient's larynx from this way. Okay, so here from here the doctor is viewing the larynx. Nowadays there are so many varieties of this instrument. This is the laryngoscope, and in the Google search bar you just type the laryngoscope and then you see the images. So nowadays the small, instead of this view, there is a small like our mobile, that size. The small screen is attached, so don't we don't require to directly view the larynx of the patient, these doctors. So now this larynx is when viewed. So the larynx, so here in the figure you see the vocal ligaments are shown, okay? And this figure is actually very important for you, so you go through this figure, okay? Very neat one, and all the names, and try to remember all the names of the cartilage, okay? All the cartilage name you require to prepare. Now we are starting this presentation lecture. Now, where exactly in our body this larynx is located? So in the figure I am showing you where the larynx is present. 2 to 3 figures I will show you initially, so that you will have the idea about the location of the larynx. So here in this figure, as you can see, the larynx, the parts of the larynx: epiglottis, vestibular fold, vocal cord, okay? So you follow the black color arrow, so you will get the idea about the larynx. Now in this figure also, larynx, vocal cord, vestibular fold. You just follow the arrows, black color, okay? So this is the larynx. Now here also, okay, vocal cord. You see the arrow, where this arrow is going for vocal cord, and what is written? So several small muscle within the larynx act on the vocal cord to move them closer together or farther apart, or to tense them, okay? So small muscle within the larynx. They are acting on the vocal cord, and they are making the movement of the vocal cord by closing them, by moving them apart, or by making them tense, the smooth muscle. Then you see the esophagus, okay? Then the cricoid cartilage. See where the cricoid cartilage is present. Thyroid gland is shown. Then trachea. Then thyroid cartilage. Okay, all these names are important. Now this is also a nice figure for the larynx, and you will require to prepare all the names because all the names are there in your syllabus. So this is the larynx, and we are going to study this larynx now. And here in our throat, you see the position, the exact position of the larynx, where it is situated in the throat. Now, starting with the first point, location of the larynx. So many times we are pronouncing this as larynx, but actually we should pronounce this larynx as larynx. So it is larynx, okay? And this larynx is also known as voice box. Now, what is this voice box or larynx? So it is a short passageway for the air, okay? And this passageway is connecting the laryngopharynx with the trachea. So in the figure, here you see this is the laryngopharynx over here, and this one is the trachea. So between the laryngopharynx and the trachea, the larynx, this part, the larynx is situated. Now, where exactly this larynx is present? So it lies in the midline of the neck, anterior to the esophagus. So in the middle of our throat, of our neck, the larynx is present, and you see it is written that anterior to esophagus. So here this is the esophagus. So here the larynx is shown, this one is the larynx, and posterior to the larynx esophagus is present, or we can say anterior to esophagus the larynx is present, okay? And the larynx is present in the region of C4 to C6. So these are the cervical vertebra. So here in the figure you see these are the cervical vertebrae are shown, and the location of the larynx is between fourth cervical vertebra and 6. So C4, C5, C6, in that region the larynx is present. So this one is the first theory point, and this is the figure. Now, in the structure of larynx, there are total 9 cartilage pieces are present, and among this 9 cartilage, 3 cartilage pieces, they are the single one. Okay, so thyroid cartilage, epiglottis, and the cricoid cartilage, they are present singly. So in the figure, let's find out them. So here you see thyroid cartilage, then the cricoid cartilage, Okay, you follow the arrows and epiglottis. So this one is the epiglottis. So this is the second point, that the larynx is composed of total 9 pieces of cartilage, and 3 of them, thyroid, epiglottis and cricoid, they are the single one. Now the third point, so remaining 3 type of cartilage, arytenoid, cuneiform and corniculate cartilage, they are present, they occur in pair. So their number, so that means two arytenoid, two cuneiform and two corniculate cartilage are present in the larynx. So here in the figure, first you see here this one. This is the arytenoid cartilage, and this one also arytenoid cartilage. Okay, and this one and this one. So these two are the corniculate cartilage. So this figure is important for you, so I am showing you the entire figure and you need to prepare all the names. Okay, so this entire figure is important for you and you have to prepare all the names, you have to remember all the names. Then the third and the final, see here, we are viewing the larynx in the sagittal plane. So this entire larynx is shown in the sagittal plane, and here you see cuneiform cartilage. So this one I am zooming. So this one is the cuneiform cartilage. Okay, so since this is, we are viewing in the sagittal section, so only one cuneiform cartilage is visible to us. The next second cuneiform, we are not able to view it from this side. Okay, now the fourth point. Now what is this? The title of the figure, movement of the vocal fold. Okay, now the fourth point, see, of the, we know now there is a three cartilage, they are present in a pair. So of this paired cartilage, the arytenoid cartilage are the most important because they are involved, they are influencing the changes in the position and tension of the vocal fold. Okay, for example, the arytenoid cartilage, here you see this one is the arytenoid cartilage, is shown over here, and here, over here, see here in this left hand side, all the cartilages are shown. Okay, and here what is happening in this, all the ligament and muscles are also shown. Okay, so that is the main difference. So we were talking about this arytenoid cartilage, they are the important one, and what they are doing, what they are causing, so they are influencing the changes in the position and the tension of the vocal fold. So here you see this green arrow, and these are the vocal fold. Okay, so this one, this white in color, and this one, these are the vocal fold. Okay, and this vocal fold are the true vocal cord for the speech. Okay, so in speech production also this cartilage are involved for the movement of the vocal fold. Now moving on the fifth point. Now in the entire entire structure of the larynx, there are various kind of muscles are present. Few muscle they are present outside, that means on the surface of the larynx. So this muscle which are present outside, they are known as the extrinsic muscle, and many muscle they are present inside, and they are interconnecting the cartilages. So the muscle which are present inside and which are connecting the cartilages, they are known as the intrinsic muscles. So here in the figure, all the names of the muscles are there. For example, uh, transverse arytenoid muscle, then posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. Okay, so you just observe this figure. You need not require to prepare all the names. Okay, you just go through the names of the muscles, the intrinsic muscle of larynx. So only the red color portion you follow, then you will get the idea about the various kind of intrinsic muscle. Okay, then normal larynx, inspiration. So you read all the names. This figure, epiglottis, then the ventricular fold, false chord, then the true chord, vocal fold, trachea, then cuneiform, tubercle, esophagus, everything. Okay. So fifth point was regarding the intrinsic muscle of the larynx. Now sixth point we are discussing. See, now in the sixth point, we are discussing about the cavity cavity of the larynx. So here in the figure, in the sagittal plane, the entire larynx is shown. And what is the cavity? Which region is known as the cavity of the larynx? What is cavity of the larynx? So the cavity of the larynx is the space that extend from entrance into the larynx down to the inferior border of the cricoid cartilage. So let's say we are entering into the larynx, and this one this one is the cricoid cartilage. So the inferior border, so this one is the inferior border of cricoid cartilage. So this entire distance, okay, the space within the larynx is known as the cavity of the larynx. Okay, so this is the theory point and the figure. Now I have bifurcated the 6 point in two part. Now we are here also we are continuing this larynx cavity. Now the portion of the cavity of the larynx above the vestibular fold. First of all, let's see, this is the vestibular fold. Okay, this part is the vestibular fold. So the portion of the larynx which is present above the vestibular fold, let's say this part, this region, this cavity. Okay, so this portion or this cavity of the larynx is known as laryngeal vestibule. So here you see laryngeal vestibule, this one is the laryngeal vestibule is shown. Okay, then the portion of the cavity of the larynx below vocal fold. So this one, you see the vocal fold are shown. Now the portion of larynx cavity below the vocal fold. So that means they are talking about this cavity. So this cavity is known as infraglottic cavity. So in this sixth point, okay, we have we are remembering the name of the cavity of the larynx. Okay, so there is one laryngeal vestibule and second one is the infraglottic cavity. So two cavity names, and I'm showing you this entire figure so that you can see it properly. Okay. And this figure here also, this one, all the names, okay, epiglottis, then vestibule, hard bone, vestibular fold, vocal fold. Okay, okay. Now, seventh point. Now, thyroid cartilage. Let's see first in the figure where the thyroid cartilage. So, we are talking about this. This is thyroid cartilage, and this one is the thyroid cartilage. Okay. So first finish the theory point, and then we will look into the figure. So the thyroid cartilage consists of two fused plates of hyaline cartilage. Thyroid cartilage is made up of hyaline cartilage, and two plates, they join together, they fuse together, they merge together. And this two hyaline cartilage plate, that is the thyroid cartilage, they are forming the anterior wall of the larynx. So in the figure you see the entire, this is the anterior view of larynx, and the entire anterior, okay, this wall. So this is the thyroid cartilage, and it is making the anterior wall of the larynx, and the shape of the thyroid cartilage is the triangular in shape. Now this thyroid cartilage, in the center, when the two cartilage they are joining, one kind of elevation is present. So this elevation, okay, this elevated portion which is present between these two thyroid cartilage, so this elevated part is known as the Adam's apple or the laryngeal prominence. So this part, this portion is the Adam's apple, and here one one man is shown, and in the throat you see here this part. This is the Adam's apple is shown. Okay. Now this thyroid cartilage, Adam's apple, is present in both males and females. But in males, it is the larger one, because the male sex hormone, they influence the development or the growth of the Adam's apple. That's why, and this happened during the puberty. So this Adam's apple or the thyroid cartilage, they are the larger one in the males than the females. Now the ligament which is connecting this thyroid cartilage with the hyoid bone, that ligament is known as thyrohyoid membrane. So here this one is the thyroid cartilage, this one is the hyoid bone, and between the thyroid cartilage and hyoid bone, the ligament, all this ligament which are present, this ligament are thyrohyoid membrane. So this is the seventh point. Now moving on the eighth point. Now, in this point, first epiglottis. Epi means over, means above, superiorly, and glottis means tongue. Okay, so what is epiglottis? So epiglottis is large leaf shape. Anna, leaf means the leaf of the tree. Okay, so in the figure you can see this, the shape of the entire epiglottis is the leaf shape. And what is epiglottis? So epiglottis is a leaf shaped piece of elastic cartilage, and this entire surface of this epiglottis, it is covered by epithelium. Okay, epithelium is covering the epiglottis. So here this is on left hand side, this is the anterior view is shown, and this right hand side the posterior view is shown. So in both the views, the epiglottis is visible. So this is the epiglottis and this one is the epiglottis. Okay, now moving on the ninth point of our discussion. Now the stem of the epiglottis is the tapered inferior portion. First of all, what is the stem? See, this region. This is the epiglottis and this region. Okay, this part. This we can say this is the stem of epiglottis. So the stem of the epiglottis is the tapered inferior portion, and this portion, the tapered portion, the narrow portion of the epiglottis, the stem, that is attached to anterior rim of thyroid cartilage. So this one is the thyroid cartilage, and we see this stem is attaching to the rim of thyroid cartilage. So the ninth point in the figure. Now the 10th point. Now the broad superior leaf portion of the epiglottis is unattached. So in the figure you see this upper part. So this part is not connected with any other structure, so it is free, and this free part move up and down like a trap door. Okay, so it can move up and down, and it is acting like a trap door. Okay, now moving on the 11th point of our discussion. Now during the swallowing, now we know the swallowing process. Once we ingest the food, then we chew the food, then saliva mixes, then the movement of tongue, bolus is made, and we swallow the bolus. So during the swallowing, what happens? This bolus enters into the pharynx. Okay, and when we are swallowing the food, what happens? The pharynx and the larynx rise. Okay, their level goes up, and the elevation of pharynx, once the pharynx is elevated, so the entire tube of pharynx, it widen up, it broadens up. Why it is widening? Why it is broadening? To receive food or the liquid drink. Okay, since to enter the food and liquid in the pharynx is elevated. Now what happens to larynx? So when larynx is elevated, this elevated larynx causes the epiglottis to move down. Okay, when we are swallowing the food, what happens? This epiglottis is moving down, and it is acting like a lid. Okay, so this epiglottis comes down, moves down, and it is acting like a lid and this lid, this epiglottis, covers the glottis. So here you see this on the glottis is shown. So this entire part is covered by epiglottis, and this epiglottis closes the glottis. Now, what is glottis? So here, this is the glottis. Now, glottis consists of a pair of fold of mucous membrane, and this pair of fold of mucous membrane are known as the vocal fold. So in the figure, you see the vocal fold, and this white in color, the white color that you are looking at in the figure are the vocal fold. So vocal fold are the true vocal cord in the larynx, and the space between this vocal fold, that space is known as the rima glottidis. So here this space is known as the rima glottidis. Now point number 13. Okay. Now the closing of the larynx in this way during swallowing root roots liquid and food into the esophagus. So what happened here, when we swallow the food, the this epiglottis comes down and it is closing this, it is covering this entire glottis. So the epiglottis is covering the vocal fold, then vestibular fold, and the rima glottidis. So all these structures, they are covered by epiglottis. So what happens, that means the entry into the larynx is closed. So when we are swallowing, the food particle and the drink or the liquid part cannot enter into the larynx. Okay. And here the biological point is written, but when on the dining table, when we are eating our meal, many a times our parents and our grandparents, they tell us that don't talk and eat quietly. Okay, the reason behind that is that when we are talking and when we are eating, what happens, the food particle and the liquid, it is possible that epiglottis is not covering the glottis, so some food particle and the liquid can enter into the glottis. Okay, so immediately the cough reflex occur. Okay, and this cup reflex, so when if simultaneously we are eating and talking, so it is possible that immediate cough reflex will occur, and we will we will cough loudly, and by doing that coughing, actually we are expelling the material which has entered into the larynx, that are the food particle and the some drops of the water. So that is the meaning of this point number 13. Then point number 14. Now here in point number 14, here first you see this is the right lateral view of larynx, and this one is the medial view, medial sagittal section. So first you observe this. Okay. Okay. So point number 14. Now first, cricoid cartilage. Cricoid. Cricoid means ring like. Cricoid cartilage. In the figure, let's see the cricoid cartilage where it is present. So here the name is written cricoid cartilage, and you follow this black color arrow, this one and this one. So these are the cricoid cartilage. Okay. Now the cricoid cartilage is a ring of hyaline cartilage. So cricoid cartilage is made up of hyaline cartilage. And what this cricoid cartilage is doing, so it is forming the inferior wall of the larynx. So as you can see, the inferior wall of larynx is made by the cricoid cartilage. And this cricoid cartilage, it is attached to the first ring of cartilage of trachea. So here this one is the trachea, this one is the trachea, and this is the first cartilage ring of the trachea, this one, and this one is the cricoid cartilage. So between the cricoid cartilage and the first ring of trachea, ligament is present, and the ligament, as you can see, this is the ligament which is present between the cricoid cartilage and the first ring of trachea. This ligament is known as cricotracheal ligament. Okay. Now point number 15. Now in point number 15, thyroid cartilage, we are talking about thyroid cartilage. So you see, this one is the thyroid cartilage. We now know this. Okay. And over here in this figure, this one is the, and this one is the thyroid cartilage. Now the thyroid cartilage is connected to cricoid cartilage. So this one is the thyroid cartilage. This one is the cricoid cartilage. Okay. So between these two cartilage, the thyroid and the cricoid, ligament is present. Okay. And this ligament is known as cricothyroid ligament. So here, this ligament over here, this ligament is the cricothyroid ligament. And this cricoid cartilage is very important, because in case of emergency means, let's say a person has experienced the road accident, and in the severe condition, person is not able to breathe normally. So at that critical situation, what happened? The surgeon or the doctor, they immediately remove this cricoid cartilage, so to make the artificial passageway for the uh, oxygen to supply in the body, in the patient's body. So that procedure is known as the tracheotomy. Okay, in the clinical term. Now here point number 16 here. Now in the point number 16, we are discussing the arytenoid cartilage. So first of all, let's see the arytenoid cartilage, where they are present. This one is the arytenoid cartilage, and this one is also arytenoid cartilage. So there is a pair of arytenoid cartilage, and the shape, you see the shape of the arytenoid cartilage. So they are triangular in shape, and they are made up of the hyaline cartilage. And where they are present, where they are located, so they are located at the posterior superior border of cricoid cartilage. So here this one is the cricoid cartilage, and this is the posterior superior border of cricoid cartilage. So on this border, we see the arytenoid cartilage is present, this. Okay. And if you observe closely, this arytenoid cartilage is making a joint with the cricoid cartilage, and this joint is known as the synovial joint. And this joint, due to this joint permits wide range of mobility for the arytenoid cartilage. So this one is the point number 16. Okay, and for point number 16, this is the figure. Okay, and this is the joint. Okay, now moving on the point number 17. Now the corniculate cartilage, corni corniculate corniculate cartilage. Now where they are present, so see here, this one and this one. Okay, so these are the corniculate cartilage, and their shape, they are shaped like a small horn, for example cow. Okay, so the animals, they are having the horn, and the shape of this corniculate cartilage is like the animal's horn, and they are the smaller one, so they look like the small horn. And they are made up, this corniculate cartilage, they are made up of elastic cartilage. And where they are present, so they are located at the top of arytenoid cartilage, so on the apex of each. So here arytenoid cartilage, this one is the arytenoid, this one is the arytenoid cartilage, and on the apex this corniculate cartilage are present. Now point number 18 we are discussing. Now in point number 18 we are discussing about the cuneiform cartilages. So where are this cuneiform cartilage? So here now I am showing you, this one is the cuneiform cartilage, and here also this part is the cuneiform cartilage. Okay, this portion and this portion, these are the cuneiform cartilage, and they are wedge shape or the club shape, and these are the elastic cartilages. So cuneiform cartilage are the elastic cartilage. Okay, where they are present, they are present anterior to corniculate cartilage. So here this one is the corniculate cartilage, and this one is the cuneiform cartilage. So we can say cuneiform cartilage is present anterior to corniculate cartilage. And this cuneiform cartilage, what the role this cuneiform cartilage is playing, that it is supporting the vocal fold. So here you see the vocal fold, they are shown in white color. So this white color portion, vocal fold, they are supported by, at the bottom you see, so this cuneiform cartilage are there. So this vocal fold, they are supported by the cuneiform cartilage. Then they are also, this cuneiform cartilage are also supporting the lateral aspect of epiglottis. So here you see, this is the epiglottis is shown, this one, and this is the lateral portion, lateral aspect of epiglottis. And this lateral aspect or the lateral part of the epiglottis, if you observe closely, we will find that it is just touching to this cuneiform cartilage. Okay, so this is the point number 18. Okay, now the last point of this presentation lecture. Now in the final point we are discussing, see, this we can say this is the lumen of larynx, and around the lumen, this is the lining. Okay, this is the lining, this lining. Okay, and in this lining there are particular type of cell are present. So we are discussing the lining. Okay, so here in the first point, what they are saying, that the lining of the larynx superior to vocal fold. First of all, see this part is the true vocal fold. Okay, this region is the true vocal fold. Okay, and this region, this part, this lining is the superior lining to the vocal fold. So here which kind of cell are present? So here you see stratified squamous epithelium cell are present. So what they are writing, the lining of larynx superior to vocal fold is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelial cells are present. Okay, then the lining of the larynx inferior to the vocal fold is ciliated pseudo-stratified columnar epithelial cell. So this is the true vocal fold, this part true vocal fold, and this lining, okay. So this is the inferior lining, and in this inferior lining pseudo-stratified ciliated epithelial cells are present. Now in this lining, the inferior one, along with the pseudo stratified columnar epithelial cell, goblet cell are present and the basal cell are also present. So we know the goblet cell, the function of the goblet cell, they secrete the mucus. Okay, this is one thing. And the cilia, the epithelial cell on the surface, they are having the cilia. Now what happened, when we inhale the atmospheric air, in that air there is a dust particle are also present. Okay, and this dust particle should not reach to the our lung and the alveoli. So the mucus produced by the goblet cell traps this dust particle, and the cilia is continuously beating. So this cilia is pushing this mucus which is having the dust particle towards the pharynx, and this is how it is this mucus and this goblet cell secretion, they are stopping, and the movement of the cilia, they are stopping the entry of the dust particle into our respiratory tract. So that is the meaning of this point number 19, and for this I am showing you this entire histological slide. Okay, now for the larynx, two histological slide I would like to show you. For example, over here the larynx is shown and the key is also given, so you can read the key. This is the key is given. Okay, and here this is the entire larynx. Okay, one more is there. So in this figure, now one more figure I would like to show you, which is important for you, just for your understanding I am showing you. This figure is there. See, larynx, vocal fold and vestibular fold, you see the position. Okay, and quiet respiration means normal respiration. So in this normal or quiet respiration, you see the position, vocal fold, vestibular fold, and here force, this is the forced respiration. So now you see the position of vocal fold and the vestibular fold and the position of the epiglottis. So forcefully we are inspiring, that time the position, and phonation, This is where when we are speaking, so that time you see the position of vocal fold, okay, and the vestibular fold, and this is effort closer. Effort closer, the time, at the time, let's say we are in the gym and we are lifting some heavy weight, we are doing some heavy bench presses, so that time we are effortlessly closing this glottis, okay. And here, this is the time when we are swallowing the food. So as you can see, the upper glottis, okay, is completely covering the glottis, okay. And this information, if you are interested, you can read this information. So with this, we have completed this presentation lecture on larynx. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation lecture on larynx. And I also hope that this presentation lecture will be helpful in your exam preparation and also in your studies. My name is Manish Kosti sir. I am from Ahmedabad, India. Bye bye. Namaste.